Right. Okay. So good evening, everyone. I think all are good evening, is it? So because here actually good morning. Nowadays I'm in Australia, so for a visit. All right. So before go to the presentation, everyone. So I have to mention some of the important point here. So what I thought is to go through the presentation. If you have any questions, please write down in the chat box. Let me answer later, right? Because if I'm going to answer during the presentation, because I have a lot of slides to follow. So if it distracts, then you will miss some, the points. That's why I thought to, if you have any question, please write down the chat box. Then I will come back to you later or sooner, right after the presentation. Or either if there's a time, then I can reply to your question. All right, here the subject is day 4, operation stability. The foundation of product and service excellence. I'm going to present here. So how operational stability state in product and the service, the businesses. So, and before goes to the all the presentation slides, so you just, you can understand my background. Here you can see, I think during the first session, I introduce myself. Here you can see my experience and all. So I was a senior general manager, quality management system in Hyderabad for 6 years. Bauk as same, my Bauk also, I was a group general manager. I work in Vietnam and Cambodia and Western government Vietnam as well. So I'm a MBA holder and the train experience, what I've done in UK uh, program. And I was a 9000 certified lead auditor and also NOS lean practitioner in Nike and Lean Six Sigma black belt I've gone through and certified. And also I have got opportunity to going through and learn in Japan system like through Toyota production system and Toyota management system and the Toyota cost management programs. And all in all, 27 years experience in the government industry. After my military experience. I was in before I work in Sri Lanka Special Task Force, work as an officer. So then I left and then I joined in the apparel sector. All right, this is me. Here you can see the Darshana Vimal. We all explain here because it's our first slide to you to understand how we are going to drive through the our presentation and subjects. You can see the foundation, 3 pillars, and the roof. So you should understand. So what are the key element in the business which very important to everyone? So I think some of you all going through the operation stability, but I think this presentation and my program session will be support you to replenish your knowledge. And so operational stability is a key area before goes to other areas like, you can say customer focus, delight the customer, business growth, and so on and so forth. However, this is a main area. Without foundation, you cannot build a house. I think you will agree with me, right? So this is a key area. Without this, you cannot do anything. And even you try, so you will fail or you will struggle mid of the implementation. No, if you are going to try and do some kind of other the segment based on this house, of course you will be fail or you will struggle. Then that's why most of the companies they struggle when they start the lean journey or TPM or whatever the process is going to implement. If they don't have operational stability, of course they are going to fail. Keeping that in mind. All right. So let me move here. Today, I'm going to cover 4 subjects: stability, quality conformity, and key hormones and organ structure. Because that's why I told you. So let me run through the presentation first. Then you can ask any question later on. Then I can answer your question respectively. So stability. So let's look at that. What are the takeaways from these presentations and my learnings? Here learnings. Understand the operational stability and focus key areas to establish the business for continuous improvement and more business values. add more business value. This means, so when you understand, go through the presentation and slides, you will understand how we're going to value adding through, through the, when you study the key elements, key areas, then you will understand. So you learn today how we're going to add more value to the business. And about the quality conformity, and you will realize quality conformity requirements and the fundamentals to satisfy the customer in providing the product or service systematically. So I'm going to explain here how you systematic approach to, sustain quality conformity. And then key performance and org structure. I gather here two subjects, and when you look at the presentation, you can understand that. So my idea is to give you today key performance indicators fundamentals to establish the proper evaluation methods to see the business trends whilst working as a team. So I'm going to explain how we're going to work as a team and collaborative works with proper structure. Then I'm going to explain you a structure, how should be. So here, there are, under operation stability, there are three subjects I have to cover: fundamental performance indicators, quality conformity, having proper organization structure. Then you will understand. So when I run through the presentation, these key areas today. So before open this slide, so I just to ask, or write down the chat box. What do you think? What is the operation stability based on your learning or the past learning or knowledge, right? Just type it in a text box, then we can understand your knowledge about operation stability. I'll give you 1 minute, just type it, then we can see how your knowledge about the stability. Actually, you can hear me, right, Val? I guess you can hear me, right? So
we can, yes.
Yeah.
all right, okay. So let's look at the chat box quickly. Anybody, one or two person, please type it based on your knowledge, based on your learning. You will be going through lean manufacturing subjects. Then you can type it here. If not, then I can run the presentation straight away. All right. Yes. So Chamila, yes, you're almost right. Systematic approach of operation to sustain the business. Yes, agree with that. Smooth continuous workflow. Yes. Consistency, system process and organization. All right. So I think, yeah, you are not wrong. You're right. So you can understand further when I run through the presentation. All right. Let me, one of the cat is here. I think it's disturbing me now. However, so let me. All right. So here you can see as a question, what is the operation stability? So it says the backbone of sustainable business success. Operational stability ensures consistent delivery of products and service without disruption. Yes. So we can say if you have a stability in the business, there should be no disruption. So when you're running the business, if there's no stability, you are not strong enough with the stability, then you will struggle, right? So here there are four segments, four areas specifically mentioned here. You can see reliable system. That means strong process and best practices you should have. How are you going to manage the process? How you are aligning with the people, right? Here Now, you have to arrange your infrastructure and the process, right? So then only you can see the reliable system you have. Another one, risk management, right? Now, the most of the companies have how they have a system to manage the risk. So we call risk analysis meeting, and developers state they are analyze their product or service, and then they can manage the risk. Also, consistent performances, right? So then they are sustaining and consistently maintain their performances rather dropping down like drastically consecutively 2 to 3 weeks or the 1 month and months. If they have stability, of course they will running well with the performances, right? Is maintaining quality standards, right? So they are not getting any feedback, negative feedback from the outside, the third party people. Like customer comes and complain, customer come to the process, they are highlighting the problem. Then you distract and you cannot focus on your works. So I have experience like when you are in the preparation. So most of the time when the third party auditor comes, they come and highlighting many issues. Then we have to engage with them, right? If you are consistently performing, of course, they are not come even they come to the production floor or manufacturing floor or service areas, so they cannot highlight anything because you are stable process and stable perspective you are maintaining. Other one is workforce continuity. That means if you have a stability, you can remain the people. The labor turnover very less, and also people are happy to work there because they are self-motivated. Motivations are there because environment is right, process is okay, product quality is fine, and management engagement, everything is fine. Then your workforce will be continued. That's what I would elaborate. If you have stability, these main key areas need to focus: reliable system, risk management, consistent performance, and workforce continuity. So these are the benefits and areas you to follow. And here I mentioned here key strategy for operation stability. There are few areas strategically you have to focus. Proactive monitoring. The what are going to monitor? Detect and address issues before escalation. Like it's called proactive rather you reactive. Stability companies they do have like a good development system, and pre-hand they discuss with the engage with customer supplier integration, like they engage with the supplier and customer to understand their material problem or their uh, foresee like the challenge which challenges are where what are coming. So the proactive they are monitoring because that kind of mechanism they should have. I can give example like development, strong development meeting with suppliers and the customer with the customer engagement. Then you can understand if you get the product or service, then you can um, discuss with the team, engage with them, right? Challenges you are going, what are going to face? Like it can be material, it can be methodologies, it can be machinery problem or whatever. Then you can understand when you engage with them. And also, other strategy has to be structured plans to respond promptly when problems arise. That means incident management. So you should have a mechanism, right, to respond quickly rather waiting time. Say for example, if customer complaint comes, you should have a mechanism to give a feedback them. You should know how what are the problem solving tools you should have knowledge, right? I think later on you can, I think Darshana, Vimal, we are going to explain you like, what are the problem solving tool. With that, you can do kind of a, sophisticated tool to, promptly reply to the customer with, with the exact root cause and all. So, and separately in the manufacturing flow, you can use kind of an Andon system to, raise the problem. So kind of a best practice you should have. And automation, right? So, so the development stage or the manufacturing the process, you can introduce like templates or jigs or pneumatic systems, pneumatic guides, and even the robotic. So automation. So because you have to de-skill the operators or the service who are working in the process, uh, less hand touch. So then automation, there will be another strategy for the stability. And other one is, last one is disaster recovery. So you should have a mechanism to recover the disaster if something goes wrong. Say, for example, last couple of years back, we struggled with COVID, right? So all over, I mean, entire world is struggle. So, but customer expecting our service. So how we are going to manage that kind of situation? Say, for example, flooded, sometime, heavy rain, there will be a flood. So then how are we going to manage this kind of situation? Or either the workers' demand, how are we going to manage with that? So what are the alternatives? Like, you should have another or vendor relationship, so you can share the order. You can pass that order, them to follow, them to do that on behalf of you. Kind of a uh, recovery plan you should have, right? And because you cannot delay the deliveries, because customer is expecting your delivery or the service on time. So customer is always king, as Vimal last time explained, always customer right. So we have to keep them, right? So these are the key strategy you have to think about, right? So next slide. Stability products industry. I segregated two area like products industry and the service. Here you can see manufacturing excellence you have to maintain in overall. To do so, you have to maintain predictive maintenance. That means your all the machineries and what the tools has to be up and run. And there should be a mechanism to identify. So the potential, like maintenance is coming in. And as our Deloitte report says, reduce downtime by 25% with data-driven alerts. Like if you have a data-driven alerts, of course you can reduce 25% of the downtime. It'd be a big beneficial for you to. I mean, if you doing the stability, you should have a predictive maintenance best practice. And quality control automation, right? Ensure consistent product quality and reduce defects. Means, so there should be a mechanism to control automatically and your quality. Like we can say, as I explained, like error proofing method, jigs, the molds, robotic, and whatever you can uh, apply to the manufacturing, the product industries. And supply resilience, supply chain resilience, it means how we're going to absorb and mitigate impact from external disruption efficiently. How we're going to manage, if there's a problem came from the outside, how we're going to manage it there. So this is the supply chain resilience point. Other one is total production system. Like, product industry, you can mainly follow that TPS, we call lean manufacturing. So I think most of the businesses now, they align with the lean manufacturing principles. So then you can drive the operation stability. So these are my explanation for product industry about how we're going to sustain the stability. Let me come to the service industry. So delivering consistent experiences, that mean not like product. You are always delivering the uh, service, right? So to do so, there are four areas you have to look at that. Your process has to be standardized. That to be uniform delivery ensures reliability in service. So we can get the example like, you are familiar with McDonald's, KFC's, like, burger shops. They are very, precise process they have. They all are time, like, when you place the order, within, 5 to 50, within 15 minutes, they give you back the order. That kind of, because process has to be standardized, right? So even manufacturing flow, so also same, you should have a proper layouts, proper, arrangement of the production flow. So then your process has to be standardized. And employee empowerment, very important point. Even you're having a process, if you not train your people, your staff, then there will be a disconnection with your stability. So you cannot sustain your business, then you will struggle. And self-service option. In the service industry, of course, mainly depend on the service options. Allow customer to solve problem independently. I can give you some example. Now in the current context, Kmart, UK, some supermarkets, you can, if you got the opportunity, you can see the supermarket, they, self uh, paying mechanism. They will resolve their problem themselves. If the problem comes, then you can raise some kind of a signal system to, automatically some support will be there. So that kind of mechanism have self service option will be other, stability, to, delivering the consistent experience is a third point is self-service option. And Ritz-Carlton example, this is a good one. So I would suggest if you want to further read and study, this is a good one because they are motto. This is one of the world recognized customer good service, and their service standards for consistent satisfaction. Yeah, they are only focusing on customer, right? They're only focusing on customer. So their motto is like respect and professionalism, right? So they mainly focus their service has to be precise and it has to be not only satisfy more than that. So I can give you many example, but the time constraint, then let me move. So further study, you can, this is a good one. The service industry over here, please read that. So you can learn many example. It's one of the best customer in the world. The hotel chain, they have a hotel chain hotel. Then you can learn and study from the Ritz-Carlton example. Then service best practices they have, many best practices they have, because their main motto is satisfy customer, not only satisfy, more than that. So say for example, one example I can give you. So if they lose a bag or wallet, their motto is to, find that motto, the wallet or whatever, they bring that one to their house. Because they that much of integrity and that much, the honesty they have, right? And how we're going to building a culture of stability. So leadership's commitment is very important, right? And executive priorities stability as a core value, because most of the companies I have seen and came across, even they hire the person, leadership commitment is very less. So even they are saying like, I'll give you this one, I'll take care of you, but end of the day, so leadership commitment is very less. Then if you don't have leadership commitment, of course, you will struggle in the stability segment. Continuous improvement. This is a very important one. Processes are regular review and enhance. So you should look at your processes, regularly. You might say you have a nice book. Okay, people have to align. No, you have to go and see and evaluate and see how the process is running and what are the gaps are there. Then you have to improve that. So even sustain the process, you have to um, improve that, like enhance that do a better the business in the industry. And if you have stability, there should be any blame or post-mortems kind of a practices, right? Daily analysis constructively without blame. So because they know how to resolve the problem together as a team, right? So they know the problem solving tool, like, it can be Y analysis or fishbone analysis or FME or whatever tool they know how to use that. You have to learn that. So I think future session, then you can understand what are the problem solving tool, then you can apply one of those to, improve your problems or whatever you are going to coming across. And employee training is a key. So whoever you recruit or whoever in the existing team, you have to train them in a proper manner. If you not train them, of course, they don't know how to do the job. Even you hire the hero. So if you are not explained or if you are not trained the company culture, corporate culture, and the existing processes and best practices, so then that person join to the company, then the person will struggle. So likewise, you have to train or the bottom to top, top to bottom. You should have a mechanism to train everyone. Okay. Then that's what a stability, just explained about stability with like the past slides. Then let me move to the next topic. Fundamental performance indicators. This is a key area in the stability, because you should have a performance indicators to measure and see, right, your growth and your process reliability and how we are going to satisfy the customer. All right. So here, question why operation stability matters. So most of the companies who are performing well, so top performers, 80% of top performers, they are aligned with the stability, right? Their priority is operation stability, right? This is the facts and figures. So this is a Google, I collect this information. So 80%, they are saying 80% of the top performances, they align with the stability, operation stability. And profit impact, also 2 to 5 number of, 2 to 5 profit margin. If they have stability, if they don't have stability, they will struggle. Even like, cost will be so high because shipment will fail, customer complaints, customer service not satisfied, a lot of complaint coming. Then if you maintain operational stability, then of course you can improve your profit. Another one, customer retention, the key one. So most of the I have seen during my career, customers, they are staying only, first order, second order, they will go away. Why? Because they don't have proper stability to keep customer. Like 90%, 98% customers are retaining or remaining if you have a proper stability. Okay. So key categories of performance indicators. Here, I'm not going to go through like, all the, formulas and all. But if you really want, then I can explain you later on. So just I want to show you what are the key areas, key categories of performance indicators. Process efficiencies. Yes, this is very important one. And quality compliance, also, very important. So you have to measure and see to how you are going to perform or not. Customer centric, yes, satisfaction level, you have to look at that. Delivery performances and complaint metrics, you have to maintain. And resilience and adaptability, how are you going to adapt and absorb the recovery time, how are you going to resolve the problem, disruption response, and the continuity measures. So these are the key areas. In the stability, you have to performance indicate, right? Indication, as you have to maintain these key areas. Another one, you can see real world example best practices who is using and who's having the stability well in this industry. Toyota, you agree with me? Look at this. They are because of based on the stability, their defect rate is less than point 0.1. And top Google global overall effective equipment and effectiveness. Sorry, overall equipment effectiveness is causes top level. And Amazon Web Service also, their uptime, like their speed 99.99, right? The MTTR mean also there. The Southwest Airlines also 89% on-time flights arrival, it's mentioned here to 2024. So this is a real example for best practice and best practices what they're maintaining as a stability. So you can Google it, you can further study if you really want. So these are the key example for you to understand. And stability, there are some common challenges you should understand. So then, because I'm expecting to give you a SEM assessment, is optional one. So after this session, I'll share with you. This will be beneficial you to understand your current manufacturing or process of the service industry, your industry. You to understand challenges. I mean, how you're going to resolve. I give you the assessment later on, then you can read it and you can do that and submit back to us. Then we will review and give you feedback. And you can see operation stability, main challenges, common challenges, talent shortage. Of course, here the book says 67 of manufacturers report skill labor gaps, right? Labor gaps. So this is one of the challenge. And supply chain volatility. That means supply chain struggling because you mentioned disruption increased 46% since 2021, right? So understand if they don't have stability of operation stability, they will struggle. I'm emphasizing here too. I mean, your stability has to be there. If you're going to apply or if you're going to implement the TQM, best practice you cannot do if you don't have stability. Technology integration, legacy system hampers 73% of large enterprises. Most of the large enterprises, they are struggling because they are conventional system because owner or the whoever top level management is there, they are still maintaining their whatever they have implemented, they don't want to change. They are still in the one frame. They don't want to come out on the box, out of the box. But they do the same thing again and again. Now, legacy systems hamper that will damage 73% of large enterprises. This is happened, is a figure source. You to understand, you have to do something different to bring the different result. And finally, the data monitoring gaps. Real-time visibility lacking in 58% of organization, right? So this is a key area in the operation stability as a common challenge what you're going to face. Data monitoring is key. So without data, you cannot see what happened in the manufacturing process service industry. So you must gather the data, you to understand what is the business running, we are heading to, and what are the problems you are facing. Data is very important. So challenge means that you are struggling to on the data capturing. So you should have a mechanism to capture the data. Then you can see the gaps, right? So that's all about the first indicators. Now I'm coming to the next subject, quality conformity of product and service. So I give you a handout. So I give you in detail theoretical handout you to understand. So what is the stability? Because that much of key element, you should understand stability. Nice to have, you can do later. Stability you have to maintain. So under stability is quality conformity of product and services also coming under stability. So here understand the quality conformity. I think most of you all, the quality background, I think one or two guys other industry, finance and some other industry. However, you should understand conformity is very key, right? So you have to measure again the standards, right? Your standard is the key guideline you have to follow, measure, right? The customer sample or whatever you define, that you have to align with that. If deviate from that, then you have non-conformity, right? It can be product or service, must meet established design specification within tolerance and ranges. Tolerance or ranges, you have to maintain that. If not, then you are unconformity issues are coming. And understand, focus on adherence, how much you are focusing and adding adherence to that product or service, then you can maintain the conformity results better way, right? And distinct from quality, like distinct from quality, that means quality is unlike which exceed expectation. Conformity strictly adheres to specification. That means beyond quality, the wow factor, you have to maintain of the product or service. Then only you can remain the customers and services in the industry. Importance of conformity assessment, right? So you have to assess, right, the risk management. You have to understand your risk level, right? So and when we are going to learn FMEA, you can understand what are the risks level in your product or service, then you can find the resolution or solution before you are going to product, right? You have to ensure regulatory compliance and safety standard, because customer giving you the book or standards, you have to maintain regulatory. That means you must do that. You cannot deviate from that, because customer specification or the product safety, matters, and the brand names you have to maintain. Then you have to understand and you have to identify a risk to manage, because if you not manage the risk, then you will struggle, and you have to assess that. Market confidence, then you are research and see that how is the market confidence level. You have to trust through the build trust to verify standards. You have to verify and validate, and your product or service, how you are giving that, you can do some kind of a research or survey to understand the confidence level in the market. And documentation creates transparent audit trails. Honestly, you have to go and do the audit and see, so how the process is running. If there any gap, you have to maintain document involved. So because it's a fake document or forged document doesn't work. So you have to maintain honest and integrity with the integrity, document, transparency, and improvement, and identify gap before they become problem. So that means you have to identify upfront. So and the gaps before uh, problems are coming to you. So that you have to then bridge the gap. So once you identify the gap, then you have to find the resolution or problem solving or solution or Kaizen, the continuous improvement to have bridge that gap. So this is the importance of conformity assessment. You have to do the assessment to understand your conformity level. Types of conformity assessment methods. This I mentioned here. There are four methods. Product testing, right? So you have to test your product. Evaluate product against established quality control standards through systematic measurement. So you have to systematically do the testing because testing is defined. We cannot do whatever we want because if you do recognized business, you should have kind of it can be ISO, like Bureau Veritas testing or the standard, you have to follow SGS testing or Indian, some other methods are the TUV and kind of, organic the certification kind of a thing, CPSI testing kind of a thing, you have to do that. And also certification provides formal recognition that products or service meet specific requirements through third-party verification. So even you are doing verification, your the process or product or service. So third-party, the people has to come to your manufacturing process or the service, come and do that verification. Verification is very important because third-party eye come and see there are gaps, then you can improve that because then they will get the certification. What is your level? Then that kind of mechanism you should have. And inspection involves systematic examination of product, process, or installation to determine conformity. So your product or service, how is conform to the inspection. So the product, there should be a systematic way to inspect your product, like AQL method, acceptable quality level method, or whatever inspection method you can use to maintain or sustain your conformity. And accreditations validates the competence of certification bodies and testing laboratories to ensure reliability. Because if you are maintain laboratories, you have to get the certification from third party to your lab with the tools and your methodologies and all that you have to accredit and get the certification to continue the business with recognized customers. These are the key conformity assessment methods you have to understand when you are going to stability. Because if these kind of a best practice if you don't have, that means stability is not in your company. So think about that. The product testing, certification, inspection, accreditation, those are key elements you have to maintain your conformity, the assessment methods. And how are you going to measure your quality conformance, right? And establish clear specification, document deviation, implement regular audits, apply statistical control. These are the four areas I'm going to further elaborate because of the time constraint. Let me move on. When it was a high conformity quality, yes, if you maintain these four, the key segment, yes, of course, you can get the benefit. Customer satisfaction, cost reduction, enhanced reputation, competitive edge. Because cost reduction, of course, if you conformity, that means first time through entire product or service, then you can maintain your business without any destruction or problems because cost will be reduced. If the other rejection or rework so high or errors are high, then your cost will be going up. Then you will struggle the profit margins. So implement effective conformity system. You to maintain the conformity systems effectively develops. Let me jump out. I'm sorry. So I have to move to proper one structure. So this is my last this topic. Proper organization structure will cover key elements, leadership roles, and practical strategies you can implement immediately, right? So elements of stable organized structure, right? You should have a proper structure to make a decision with the transparency, right? Clear process of choice at all levels. All processes to be clear. To you to make a decision with transparency. And second point, define roles and responsibilities. Document that way, JDs. You have to write down or you have to arrange with your team and together with your other departments, you have to arrange JDs for everyone. Even sweeper, there should be a JD. Then they know what to do and what are the uh, they have to align with their key areas like job functions. And clear hierarchy because you have to align, every employee should understand who the top person, the middle management, and the ground level, like supervisor and all. There should be everything has to be documented and display the your what do you call this uh, authority. How are going to have this structure? Like top level CEO or the management director. From that down cascade down to up to team member. So that kind of a organized structure you have to display everybody to understand, and also you have to train them. These are the responsibility and uh, key person who's going to take the responsibility and accountability in the business. Leadership role in stability. So strategic alignment, clear direction, culture development, resource allocation. This is a very important. Let me elaborate resource allocation. If leaders not allocate the resource, of course, middle management and other managers are struggle, right? If you want to stable the business, the whatever the resources required, so that leader has to provide them. Otherwise, managers and other junior managers will struggle to perform. Though they should have a right tool to use, right time and the right place to perform. Otherwise, they will struggle. Keeping that in mind, if you are a leader, provide the resources. Okay. And other point is you should have a SOPs in the stability. SOPs has to be written and very clear. Like create clearly, like accessible documentation for all critical processes. All the processes you have to written down the SOPs, standard of procedures, and also you have to implement. Implementation means that you're trained, and even you have SOPs. If you not train them, or if they don't know, they don't know how to align with that, then they will struggle. Whoever the say for example, newcomer comes in, you have to explain every SOPs them to understand or let them read that and align with the SOPs. And maintenance, review regularly and update based on feedback and result. SOPs you have to maintain very well. Otherwise, if you new process coming, they have to update your documentation, you have to maintain. Another one is cross-functional teams and collaboration. If you have a proper stability, of course, you have to work as a team and collaboratively get the better results, right? And here, diverse expertise, and if you work as a team, right, you can get the knowledge and sharing opportunities as a team, and you can gel with the team. You can give ideas to for betterment if you work as a team, right? And shared ownership, like somebody knows a better idea, you can get the idea from them to add more value to the business. And also innovation acceleration. So if you work as a team, I have experience like working as a team, you can do the miracle, right? If you're going to work like an individual person, then sometimes you will fail and struggle. You have to collaboratively work with the team, then you can add more value to the business. I think I know you are working with that. Try and see if you work as a team, go and cross-functional teams and collaboration. If you have in your company, I think you can get the better results. And here the slides show common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Here, three areas. I think assessment also I mentioned that you have to identify the pitfalls in your processes. Then you have to come out with the solution. Role confusion. Some are, they don't understand their role to play. So think about that. You go and see like, some of the people might be there. They don't understand their role. Silo mentality. They are in the one cell. They don't come out from that. They are in a frame. So then if you identify the kind of people, so please change them to, come out from that. So then you can make a stable business and change resistance. Some people might be there, so they're going to change. So however you have to change them, right? Change is inevitable. Okay, these are the common pitfall in the stability or present stability segment. And best practices and conclusion. The my last slide. Um, and you can see here structure for stability. You should have two areas I specifically mentioned here. Structure has to be there. Define roles clearly. As I explained, the job JDs and all, you have to define very well, documented, and also you have to train them to understand what are the key areas they have to play in the process or manufacturing product or services. You have to explain them exactly structured. Structure has to be there. And measure what matters. That means if somebody is doing their job, you have to measure it. Otherwise, you don't know that person is heading to, right? There should be a mechanism. Data driven has to be in the operation. Embrace continuous improvement. You have to align with continuous improvement. Then you can make a sustainable, stable business in your company. So that's all about the stability. I think your organization stability journey start with the best practices, of course, with the learning. You will understand how you're going to stable your business. And I would suggest take the first step today onwards if you don't have stable business. I think key areas explained here. You understood, I think, the key element what you look at in a stable business. Then you can apply or you can change in your processes or service. So I think that's it from my end. Let me look at this your chat box. If there are any questions. Yes, organ structure is the key. As per this, and how do we make it right structure, especially considering QA function? Yes. So um any thought and direction. So now you should have a key role player, team players, like, CEO. And apart from that, department wise, you have to define your structure, like QA function. It depend on the business. Like, some other business have general managers quality and the senior managers quality. And whoever taking the lead of the department has to come on the top. And the whoever the area wise, like say for example, so the quality, of course, the quality person, quality manager, or the GM or director, that the person is responsible for entire process end to end. Then entire process has to cover with their specific person to take care of that particular area. So identify that person with the right person at the right place, then you can make a proper structure, organized structure from, derive, like, how to say, if you are going to manager level, then you can make a manager, from manager to like assistant manager to see executive and supervisor, so on and so forth. Then you can arrange the organized structure. And I'm talking about structure, organized structure. And as I explained the slides, there are key elements. Look at that apart from the org chart. I'm talking the structures, like, there are key elements to follow. Then based on my explanation, you have to look at the key areas when you're setting up the structure. Say, for example, SOP-C1 coming under structure, you should have a standard procedures. And if I explain you, like, organized structure, like org chart, as a senior level to like gradually the middle level and the supervisor level and the team member level, you can define that. So be careful when you are making the structure, you have to mention specifically, like, levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, kind of a the levels you have to mention on the structure. Then people will understand who is my senior, who is my direct report is, kind of a thing. All right. The QA function, yes, not only QA function, other department as well. So, Telina, you look at that top to bottom, like, who's get the responsibility and account, depend on the responsibility and accountability, right? So, everything cannot do by one person. That's why structure should be there. You have to set the structure up accordingly. You have to give the JD, like, job description as well. Then you can maintain your QA function properly. Okay, any questions? If there's no question, then we'll ask you to take the break, Darshan. Is it okay? 5 minutes break, then Vimal will start. Darshan?
Okay, we'll get a 5-minute break now.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, team. So listen to my presentation. I will catch you in the next session next week with Vimal.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rohan.
You're welcome. Okay, Kausala.
Once again, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hope you can hear me.
Good evening, Mr. Vimal.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I think as Darshan also mentioned at the beginning, we are really happy about the the progress on assignment, first assignment actually. So everyone submitted on time, and also quality of the assignment. Everyone has understand the concept correctly, and so it's good to see that a lot of insights. Using that Kano model, you will have identify some of the hidden features. Maybe you are not focusing at the moment, but through this exercise you have identified. I think very good exercise. Different way you have used the tool. Some use for their personal talent, maybe something to buy, maybe at higher level, maybe overall to understand the overall business also someone has done. Likewise, is different levels, and so it shows that you can use the tool for different purposes, and that's the other beauty of this kind of trainings, particularly with the professionals, because this is a professional team. Not just you are learning from the lecturers. I think you are learning across from each other also, different industries, different levels, how you use these concepts, the application piece. Don't wait only look only for the lecturer's notes or lecturer's presentation. See how you can cross learn from other industries with your colleagues. Refer those assignments. It will not take too much time. Maybe 5-6 minutes. You can just glance through and understand which purpose they have used, what are the outcome of the research or a survey. So that way, I think so you can learn from others as well. So good job, everyone. Everyone had submitted. So I think I really appreciate your effort. So you have another 3 to go. That day, our Pakistan friends proposed that whether we can do assignment for maybe many assignments, so that application can be learned, not mandatory, at least for the learning purpose. So we will consider. I mean, we will recommend even for SIPOC. We have already completed, in the sense we have done the training. We appreciate if you can do the using the tool. I mean, if you can apply the same thing, and if you submit, we will go through, and nobody will get marks for the assignments, but we can give our feedback, and do the check analysis. So that there is no restriction on that. So if you are interested, please use as much as possible those tools. So unfortunately, today's I think Rohan session and this one also, you will see that a lot of theories, not tools. We are talking about a lot of theories, but I will try my level best to have an interactive session. So I don't want to have another 1 hour with theory, because maybe you need to get interact. I have only 10-15 slides. Don't worry about the number of slides. So let's have an interactive session as much as possible today. So because this is sometimes this can be a boring subject, a lot of theory. So today we are as as Rohan mentioned, with regard to the house, we discussed about the roof already covered. Now we are in the foundation. Under foundation also there are many subjects to cover. Rohan covered about the operational stability. So the second subject another subject we are going to cover, the integrated system. For us to have a sustainable TQM journey, this foundation should be solid. So these are the subjects we need to cover under TQM, under foundation. So that's why you will see a lot of theories coming behind these subjects. So when you say integrated system, so today you will understand what are the key types of measurements we should measure in a business. And some you have heard about leading and lagging KPIs and the KPI tree. We will discuss, this is very important piece for us to have a integrated system so that you can cascade your KPIs. So we will learn that. And the approach, how we are going to have an integrated system approach. What are the steps we should follow to implement the integrated system within our organization? So as a learning outcome, you will understand the integrated system concepts and principle at a high level. What is this integrated system? Then for us to have an integrated system, what are the leading and lagging KPI? How the leading and lagging KPI link together, and how should we cascade to the all the levels, those KPIs. Then how to apply the concepts, key steps to follow. So those are the three key learning outcome of this session today. Basically, when you say integrated system, there can be many departments, many functions you can integrate it, right? But with regard to the total quality management, so we are talking about mainly the quality department, environmental, maybe safety, maybe technical, maybe IE. So those departments under unified framework, how you can put those functions under one unified framework so that there is a one drive towards one goal. So this is what we are going to discuss today, right? When it comes to the term total, we are talking about total quality management. When you say total, we are talking about three things, right? This is very important for us to understand. Remember, we discussed about for us to have a business growth, two things we should focus. One thing is, can anyone support me? Two things we are supposed to, at high level, you remember the circle, two circles we put. Tilina, can you remember? Two words we use.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. One thing we said effectiveness, other one?
Effective and efficiency.
Effectiveness and efficiency, right? Remember? So when you say effectiveness, what that mean? When you say effectiveness, what that mean? These two are
Effective
very
means
important.
doing
Doing the
things
right
right.
thing.
Yes.
Doing the
Right things.
right things. To understand the right things. When you say understand the right things, it's the customer centric, right? We need to do things to satisfy the customer. Actually, through Kano model also, that's what we are trying to understand. What are the things we should focus, right? That's not the only thing. But so one approach is your effort, your alignment, organization alignment should based on the customer satisfaction, customer centric, right? That's where we call it effectiveness. The other thing, at what cost, at what resources you are going to use to satisfy your customer at any cost? No. If you do that, again, you will lose a lot of money. Customer will be happy, but at the end of the day, you are not making money out of your business. So then the effectiveness, efficiency. Efficiency in the sense, how you are going to manage your time, your resources, it matters, right? So that's called the efficiency. So when it comes to total quality management, as I said, when you say total, number one is the entire product and service quality should align with the client's needs. That's number one. Number two, as I said, the return of investment of your business, whatever the amount we have invested, your stakeholders has invested, the return on ROI, we call it ROI, return on investment, should satisfy your stakeholders, right? That's number two. Can anyone guess what's the number three? There are three elements. You are focusing on customer, you are focusing on stakeholders. What should be the third one? Any guess? I know you have notes, but any guess without looking at the notes? Can anyone support me? What should be the third one? You are talking about customer, the stakeholders, and what should be the third one when it comes to total quality management?
The entire organization culture.
Good, very good answer. Basically, you are talking about the employees. You are talking about your customer. Second one, your stakeholders, your investment. You have to take care of your investments. Then third comes to you have to take care of your employees at all levels and the working condition. Why we should worry about this? I think first two, 1 and 2 is no brainer, no? Correct? It's very clear, no? You should, for you to have a business, you should satisfy your customers. Very straightforward. Second one also, I think is not a strange thing, you know, for you to make money. And I mean, you should satisfy your investors or stakeholders. Why the third one is important? Why the third one is important? Hey, Lita. Why third one is important? I am going to talk to you guys today. I'm not going to deliver in one way today, so I will get you involved because, you know, otherwise this subject will be boring. Hey, Lita, why the third point is important?
Because if
Sorry, I can't hear.
yeah, you
Go
can
ahead.
if you want to. Yeah, because if employee are satisfied, relaxed and satisfied, they can produce good quality with the right efficiency. So very important for them.
Yeah, I think you are right, Absar. So basically, assume you are running a super restaurant, you know, best in the city, right? The working condition you have provided for your chef and his assistants, maybe the kitchen, maybe the other accessories, maybe knife and you know, other accessories he wants, and maybe the bed, maybe the washrooms, very poor, right? Then how can we expect for them to deliver the world-class service to their customers? Actually, it's my experience also. Some time back, I went to, when I was in overseas, you know, I went to one of our other, you know, maybe another suppliers factory. I visited maybe Darshan also can, you know, he was there, you know. So we visited to dormitories. We visited their washrooms. Actually, we can't believe the level or condition they were maintaining. In summary, you know, not a human can live on those rooms, and they can't. I mean, that's the level of environment they have provided. Can we expect a good quality, consistent quality when they come to work inside the factory? How can we expect them to deliver a world-class product. If the behavior is not there, if the attitude is not there, right, you can't expect a world-class product, right? So quality, when it comes to total quality, define process, yes, but most important thing is Apsal also mentioned about the company's culture, attitude of the employees. Maybe you are running a hotel, maybe you are running a factory. All the employees should committed to quality products and services. How we are going to do that? It's a long process. It's the culture. It should come from the leadership. And you just not only focus on the product or service, you have to focus the rest of the things as well. Their working conditions, their culture. If you have a blaming culture, you are fighting each other. So how can we expect a consistent product from them? So these are the things we should understand. I think 3 things you remember now. This is important. That's why I am emphasized on this piece. When you say total, we are talking about customer centric. Then you should talk about the return on investment of, and you have to satisfy your stakeholders. And third thing is you have to take care of your employees. You have to provide the good condition, working condition, not only the condition, working environment. We need to create for us to have a culture so that they will continuously deliver the good product to our customers. So before I go through this theory piece, anyone has experienced integrated system already? Any of the organizations you are working, any of the organization has ever experienced the integrated system? I think you understand what we are trying to say here. When you say integrated, you know, is you have put many departments into one goal, under one unified framework, one goal sheet. You are working towards towards that goal, right? Irrespective of the different departments. So you are basically you merged all departments together, working towards one department, right? Have you ever experienced that? Give me some examples. No experience. No one has experience with regard to integrated system.
So let me try first because integrated
Yeah,
system
let's
is in the
discuss.
sense.
This is the two-way dialogue today. Yeah.
Yeah. So many years back, I was working at the one of the MNC FMCG. So
Okay.
even though we have several departments, though there were one goal, one target to delight the customer or to delight the consumer, and achieve that target. Several departments have departmental goals, but it interconnected to the delighting the consumer at the end. So
Okay.
every department has a separate goals, and the purpose is always to give the right product or quality product at a right cost at a faster speed. It means the faster delivery. So towards that, the entire supply chain works for that, and so that actually that won the battle and won the competition, and they actually uh, win the game actually. So everyone who works there and very safe, and mostly we call it the psychological safe to go and do work there. So everyone to come there to make it, the goal is very achievable, and it's they're trying to do that part.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. No?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Inna. Thanks for the support. So I will give one example. So maybe Halit, CK, they can share their experience on that piece. Sometime back, maybe 10 years ago, yeah, 2015, 2014, that era. So I was managing divisional quality piece, right? Then we had technical head, we had compliance, sustainability piece, right? So basically, biannually, every 6 months, because we had 14 factories, we were supposed to go every 6 months, 2 audits per year. We are supposed to go and do assessment and give the rating. We have to rank whether the plant is A grade or B grade or C grade. Then that report goes to the senior leadership. And those findings also exposed to the senior leadership. Then basically you need to come up with the action plan to fix that. So basically plants are getting basically 2 from quality, 2 from technical, 2 from sustainability, right? So we are talking about 6 assessment per year, right? Then obviously the plants are having a lot of challenges because once the audit is finished, they are supposed to submit the corrective action plan also, and they have to fix those findings before the next assessments also. So that while they are managing their daily operation as well, so it's a huge pressure for plants and managing the audits also. They know when the auditors goes to the plant, they spend 1 or 2 days there and do the assessment. We realized that this disturbance in the plant, and also sometimes there are overlaps. The quality team also going and checking some of the elements, the similar questions being asked by the technical people and the compliance team also. What we did was, we sit together, we said, okay, we'll see what are the overlaps. How can we simplify this question here? And we did the simplification by eliminating the overlapping questions. We eliminate overlapping questions and we put all the questions together as a one tool, and we section A, section B, section 3, just one audit. And we went together also. We scheduled, we have only one opening meeting and closing meeting also same. We went together and we did only one audit. So basically, instead of having 6 audits per year, we reduced to 2 audits. And at the end of the day, we identify the best plan based on the overall performance, right? So that way we reduce, one thing is we reduce the transportation time, because the plants were like 5 hours, 6 hours away from Colombo. So we managed to put people together and reduce the transportation cost, accommodation cost, and the plant lost time due to audits, right? Then the documentation piece, because we have only one report, and also the management time to review instead of reviewing 6 reports, they had to review only the 2 reports. Likewise, they have a lot of benefits. Haley, I think you couldn't talk last time also when I asked that. So can you remember that era? Haley, you were there? He seems to be shy today. Anyway, and after the audits, basically during the we had a quarterly, we call it a business update. During the business update, we select the best plant and we reward them, and that's how we drive that. I'm not saying that's the perfect one, the perfect example for integrated system, but something we are talking about aligning to one goal, already merging those overlapping question, overlapping assessment, and so reducing the unnecessary movements and unnecessary documents and unnecessary report, and reducing the burden to the rest of the team, as well as driving towards one goal. So this is called the integrated system. Another integrated system, one of the group I know that, so what they have done is, instead of having technical team, IE team, engineering team, automation team separately, they put all the departments under one department, under one leadership. So they cascade all the KPIs related to that one department. So that particular organization, so very recently did that change, maybe 2-3 years ago. We see that alignment, and it is easy for them to work, and the people who are getting the service also from that department, easy one point of contact for them to go and highlight the issues. So that that alignment is there, the integration is there, and they start working on the problem rather than dividing departments to reduce the blaming culture. Under one leadership, we manage to settle those issues. So those experience I can share. So rather than we go through the theory, I'm just trying to give some examples. Is there any other example you can give? Tilna gave a good one example. Other examples you will have experience ever for the integrated system?
I think Vimal, for a period of time, I know when we were working, I think when the Hoshin Kanri was brought in, I think that would be a good model to integrate not only system but across the value streams and the stakeholders internally. That's a good structure in terms of integrating. Of course, system-wise, I mean, I don't know whether we have evolved or these vendors, factories have evolved to that level. There are work being done in terms of getting the supply chain right and getting the quality systems right. Collaborative work has been done, but I don't know to the level of integration. So I think Hoshin or the policy deployment would be an example where, to your question, with some companies are using to some extent.
Thanks, Sig. I think that's a very good call out. So actually, we are discussing about the Hoshin Kanri in the latter slides also. That's a very good call out actually. So that alignment is very, very critical, right? Alignment towards what? Alignment towards your customer needs, right? Customer-centric focus, then aligning is very, very important. So, right. So when you have that alignment, you can connect your better connection between your internal supply and customer. And your communication will be faster because, rather than having 10 departments, you have only maybe 3-4 departments now to communicate, right? So that way you can improve your effectiveness of your communication. And when it comes to the quality dimensions, product, process, system, and people. So most of the time, at this point, I will take 1 or 2 minutes there. Most of the time, we are focusing on sometime on our product. We are trying to improve the product. All the time, when you say to enhance the quality, we are focusing on product. Sometimes process is neglected. Maybe partially you are focusing on process as well. But system point of view, you are not following the system. System is there, but the accuracy is not there, right? Then the people side. I think out of these 4 elements, the quality of the people, understanding of the people on quality, understanding of the people's customer is critical. So basically, out of 4 elements, basically we have to equally prioritize. So that's why this is very important under total quality management. So it's not just we are talking about product or process, we are talking about system quality as well as the people quality. So this is an important slide, right? This is an important slide. Let's understand the features, differences in traditional system versus integrated system. When it comes to the scope, traditional system, we are focusing on isolated function, right? You will focus only on isolated function. You are talking about maybe technical, you are talking about IE, because most of the time, I think most of you have participated in your morning meetings, your weekly management meetings. Most of the time, people are firefighting. Why they are firefighting? Because they want to protect their department rather than you try to solve the bigger problem. You want to first ensure that that problem is not come to your department or your function, your role, right? Because of that, all the departments are correct, but at the end of the problem will be not solved, right? This is one of the example I can think of. Instead of having isolated function, when it comes to integrated system, is unified framework. Then the effort. Traditional system, lot of duplications, right? Lot of duplication because to safeguard your particular department, your particular function, you have to duplicate some of the work. But when you put together under one leadership, under one framework, so you can reduce the duplication. So streamline processes, basically. Then the team in traditional system work in silos, right? Based on your feedback I got today, so we all are basically still in traditional system, correct? If you don't agree, please, voice out. I think even though we say traditional system, most of the organization is still in traditional system. And when it comes to integrated system, it's cross-functional collaboration. Basically, it's a collaboration with the other function, right? So these are the, and the adaptability. In traditional system, for us to change anything when the customer asks for something extra to serve them, no, we have budgets, we have so and so restriction, we have rules and regulation, so many excuses, and this is rigid, very rigid. Even though you lose the customer, but department level, everyone is right because they are working on a certain framework and very rigid to change that. But if it's an integrated system, all the decision makers are in because they see the problem, all the sides of the problem, right? They see the problem, all the angles, and they are flexible and scalable. So these are some of the differences of traditional system versus integrated system. So I don't mind to spend 1 or 2 minutes on this slide because this is very important for us to understand difference between traditional and integrated system. Any question on this slide? Because please understand this slide to understand the difference between traditional and integrated system.
I do have one question, sir, but
Please go ahead.
this can be some thought as well. So some leaderships is promoting this traditional system rather integrated system. In such cases, how do we align this to a company goals?
I know that's a very, very tough one. If you are not within your management, if you are in a management team, if you are direct reporting to your leader, you should be able to, convince your leader. That's my thinking. But if you are not in the exco team, if you are not part of the direct reports, one down, it's going to be very tough because you have to convince your boss, and your boss need to go and convince his boss. So that's going to be a challenge. But if you're part of the management team, if you're directly reporting to your senior leader, I think you should be. I mean, that's the leadership quality we need to enhance. So as a leader, I think you should be able to convince your leader and and move towards the integrated system rather than being rigid and drive that, because sustaining that rigid structures in future, even that future is today, I mean tomorrow, it's not far away because it is going to be challenging. in very competitive market, if you are rigid, if you are following the traditional system, it's going to be tough. Till I don't know, I answer to your question. Thanks for that asking that question. But if it's a specific one, probably maybe you and me, we can have a separate chat on this, and I will give some specific advices if you have a separate chat. Let's do that. But this is my advice.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, Mr. Vimal, this is not the one guy problem. The most of the company have similar culture. Like in Pakistan, all the big companies, even they're the big company, there is a very good system, very good management system, corporate culture, but still management, the top management, maybe MDs, maybe owners, they make a traditional system by not intentionally, but sometimes without intention they create, because sometimes they call to one department head, then to another department head, and the head start to feel like independent and traditional one. So if there are some ways to guide us, this will be very helpful for all of us. I believe this.
Yeah, maybe with the limited time, I won't be able to have a continuous discussion on this topic. But let's have offline discussions, Absar. I don't mind to have a specific to understand a specific reason. Maybe I will have a separate chat with Tilno also. Let's understand how we can with my some of the examples experience I can share separately. Let's do that offline, right? With that, I will move on. Thank you for your feedback. So advantage, obviously, once you understand this, is the operation efficiency, cost reduction. You can enhance the compliance requirement because, once you reduce the number of requirements, suppose you are checking now 300 questionnaire instead of 300 areas, if you can reduce to, 100 requirements, so it is easy for us to follow. Yeah, you can hear me?
Me? Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah, okay. Give me a minute because there is something wrong. Power interruption here. Let me connect to my hotspot. Give me a minute for the safe side. Okay, I think now it should be okay. Okay, so and the better decision making, right? When you are in a, rather than having so many silos, if you put all the departments together, you can make better decision, faster decision, and good decisions, right? And the stat says, you can Google it and see, if you can have a integrated system, you can reduce your cost by 30%. And the time saved by 40% on documentation and all this stuff. And the compliance boost by 25%, and the decision-making speed, you can faster by 3 times, right? And so basically, in terms of measurements, in any organization, we are measuring customer satisfaction, finance performance, innovation and adaptability, right? These are the areas we are going to check, right? Any organizations. So this is another subject we are going to cover. So leading and lagging KPIs. How many of you have heard about leading and lagging KPIs? KPIs, I think everyone is key performance indicators. What's the difference between leading and lagging KPIs?
The process which can compute
Go ahead, CK.
the process which can contribute to the outcome, like say for example leading, if you take lead, a process which can lead to the contribution of a lagging indicator. So there are two processes. One is more proactive side of it, which is the leading, which can lead to the outcome of the final process. That is the lagging indicator. Usually you focus on the leading indicator, which is the more of a proactive or error-proof process of managing any outcome.
Thanks, CK. Thank you very much for the explanation. Basically, lagging indicator, as CK correctly mentioned, lagging is the past performance and the final outcomes. Example, your profits, sales growth, overall plant efficiency, labor turnover. Those are the outcome and the past performance. Last month performance, last year performance, last quarter performance. So those are the lagging indicators. When it comes to leading indicators, it's a real time, and it should drive a behavior. Because when it comes to the lagging KPI, you can't drive it. It's past. Already this has happened. But one of the example, let me explain on this way. You can remember on this example. Suppose your cholesterol level is high, 300 something, right? Doctor says you have to do the exercises. Maybe 4 days, you have to at least minimum 30 minutes, you have to walk. And you are not supposed to drink alcohol. And you are supposed to not to eat oily food, something like that. Your cholesterol level become the lagging indicator. So what are your leading KPIs? The number of days you exercise, right? And the number of days you eat oily food, and the number of days you drink. So those are your leading KPI, and that drive your behavior. Suppose you had the party last night, you had to drink and you had to eat oily food. So you know that you violate the KPI, and that feel So today or tomorrow, if someone is asking you to have a drink or go out for dinner, you will say no, because already I got yesterday I went to a party and I had some alcohol, and so yeah, I've already done because I have messed up with my leading KPI. So that behavior is the matter. So that's why it says you need to focus on leading KPI, which are directly linked with the lagging KPI. Don't mix up with these two. I have given example also how to connect with leading and lagging KPIs, right? So in real time, real life, you can say equipment change over time, doctor arrival punctuality, customer response time, bank waiting duration. So those are the leading KPIs, right? So with that, I will move to the KPI tree. When you say KPI tree, we have 3 levels of KPIs. One thing is that as a plant level, we have a strategic KPIs, right? High level. Then the tactical level, the department level, or a functional level KPIs. Then the operation level KPIs, day-to-day process, how we are going to link that. So these 3 levels link to each other. It should cascade towards that. That's what I think CK mentioned about the Hoshin center process. Through that, organization level KPI, you cascade to department level cascade to the operation level as well, to the individual level. So that alignment, you drive the behavior, right? So this is one of the example for the KPI tree. So this example I have already given in your notes, right? If you can refer the notes, you can see this on a hotel industry. So you have to increase your customer ratings. For you to get the customer ratings, this is the lagging KPI. For you to get the customer ratings, this is the KPI tree. So these are under this, we have 7 KPIs to follow at department level. market penetration index, average daily rates. Likewise, we have so many indicators. So you can see under service quality metrics, out of 1, you have 7, out of 7, I have picked 1. There are another 5 different KPIs to increase the service quality metrics. Likewise, we have to put each and every high level KPIs. We have to define the leading KPIs. This to increase the service quality, booking time, average time to check in, rating on foods, rating on the room quality, rating on swim pool. So those are the areas we need to look at. Under that part also, say rating on the room quality. When it comes to room quality, you have to think about the washroom, AC maintenance, minibar, and those are the items. Under that also you can say leading KPIs we have defined, and likewise it's going to the bottom layer. So this is called the KPI tree. I'm sure that this is very easy to understand. Anyone want to understand, please ask if you want to clarify this. So this is the KPI tree. Why I'm explaining this leading and lagging KPI tree? In an integrated system, you need to understand the high level customer focus. Then you have to cascade those KPI into the leading KPI level and to the departments and that alignment, so that everyone is working towards one goal. Now, most of the organization, you have basically given the KPI for the sake of giving a KPI. That alignment is not there. Because of that, very contradicting KPIs has been given. That's why people are most of the time firefighting each other, because the KPIs are contradicting. So because to avoid those conflicts, this alignment should come from that behavior, because KPIs are there to drive the behavior. So it is very important to have a proper KPI, so that KPI will drive the behavior of the organization. This will help to drive the change your culture. So I request you all to look at the current KPIs and see this alignment. Is there any relationship with your current, and if you are starting the customer centric KPI, how we are going to cascade down to the next level, so that everyone is focusing on to satisfy or delight your customer, and KPIs has been cascaded down like this. So please look at this. This is a good example for you to follow to understand current level and the changes you need to in terms of the KPI alignment. And this is the last slide, right? How to approach the integrated system. One thing is you need to understand the customer needs and reduce the resource, basically minimize the resources, reduce the cost and time to win the customer. Same time, you have to focus on how to minimize the waste and the resources, so that you can increase your profit. Second thing is the quality policy. We will have a separate topic on this quality policy deployment. So we need to have a quality policy so that everyone is focusing on the quality policy, right? We need to develop a quality policy when we drive the TQM. Then the integrated with strategic planning. We need to embed it into TQM. So I think CK also mentioned about this policy deployment or HOSHIN. We need to integrate these KPIs to LRP, long range plan. Our TQM related customer centric KPIs need to be year on year, we have to improve, and those KPI need to be linked to the LRP, linked to the HOSHIN, so that those KPI will cascade to all the departments, so that organization align towards the customer satisfaction and customer delight. So that need to be done, right? Then the KPI structure. So department level, individual level, we have to measure the KPI. So basically, so in terms of theory, this is how it is. This is how we are basically, theory says for us to drive the integrated system, these are the steps we need to follow. Right. So basically, that's it, in terms of theory. But, if you want to spend some time on this particular slide, I can spend, this is very important in terms of application piece. Because we have only 10.
Vimal, I think there is a question.
Yeah, let me check.
Vimal, I think there's a question on this question. I think most of us, or very few of us, knows what is HOSHIN. I think for the the rest of the audience or the students, I think better to explain what is Hoshin.
Okay.
There's a question also
Yeah.
asking what is Hoshin.
Yeah.
So I think
I saw that. Yes. So when you say Hoshin, thanks EK for asking that. I'm highlighting that. When you say Hoshin, it's a Japanese word. It says basically direction, right? Direction. We call it true north, where the organization should drive. It should come from the organization. If you are working for a group of company, the group CEO or a chairman of the organization, he should have the vision. He should say, okay, this is what I want to achieve in next 3 years, next 5 years. That's what he's saying. This is the direction we should go, right? Say, once he clear about what he want to achieve, he or she, right? Maybe the board, organization at the group level, once you agree on those, the goals, next 3 years, next 5 years, where you want to go. Once we clear that piece, then they will develop, okay, these are the high level goals we want to achieve. And these are the how part. These are the policies and strategies we should drive. Because having a strategy is fine, having a goal is fine, but without a strategy, it will not realize. For us to realize the goal, you should have policies, strategies. Those policies and strategies then cascade to maybe the next level. Maybe you have a group level. Maybe in my previous organization, we had a group level. Then that strategies, that policies, that goals cascade to the division. Then the division level, you have marketing, you have operation, you have finance, you have planning, and all departments. Then it cascades down. Okay, what are the each and every ones, the roles and responsibilities, and the KPI in order to achieve that divisional level target. Likewise, then the department level. Then the finance department will cascade to their sub-department. Then the individual level. So likewise, the entire organization's policies and strategies align, and the KPIs align to the group level, maybe the board level, maybe the chairman level, vision, and the goal. So that's what we call it Hoshin. When you have annually, we do that. Annually, we reflect on our past performance and we do the check and analysis. So there is a Hoshin process. Hoshin process, we have a Hoshin strategies cascade into the next level, and the KPI is also done. So what we are referring here, we need to align our KPIs with regard to the TQM also. In order to satisfy or delight our customer, what are the things we should do differently? What are the goals we should achieve? We have to be specified, and those goals need to be added to the Hoshin process so that it will cascade to the department level and the individual level, so that alignment will be there. Then as an organization, you are working towards one goal. Contribution may be different. The KPI may be slightly different. Leading and lagging KPIs, you will just learn. Those KPI will be different, but you are working towards one goal, because KPI alignment is there. You show the KPI tree also. Through that, you can align the KPIs also towards one goal. I think with the limitation of the time, I think this is the explanation, because for us to explain Hoshin, it's maybe a separate altogether, maybe 2 hours session in high level. But so for the moment, I think you can understand there is a process like alignment, so that you can align your KPIs to cascade to your each and every department. So with that, basically, we have 5 minutes to go. We'll go for the before I go to the feedback session. Next week also we are going to discuss about the supply integration. Rohan and myself will cover that piece, and that also under the base of the house, right? So with that, it's the feedback time for both the sessions. Ron, you are there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. First, I think about the Rohan session, so then you can give the feedback for my session as well.
Yeah, everyone, if you have any concerns or like, if you learn from me something today, then please give us feedback if anything to change or, I can improve on the next session or, so I think you learned something, yes, give us a feedback so then we can be happy or we can, satisfy ourselves. You can,
Yeah, if you don't
type in
want
the
to,
chat box.
yeah, even chat box you can use. Please do so. Even for this session also, it's a two different sessions. I know it's too much theories today. People love to learn about tools and but unfortunately this is not the tool. This is the concepts approach we explain. Even Rohan's session, my session, both are basically more theories today. But I think very interesting. These are the things we should do differently for us to change the culture, because as we said, TQM is all about the culture. So for us to do the culture, naturally the behavior or culture will not change. One of the approaches align the KPIs, right? Align the KPI is very, very critical through the Hoshin process. We can do that. So anyway, any feedback, please put it on the chat box.
So Rohan and Vimal, I have one each. Like maybe I know it was a theory of in terms of Rohan's session. Sometimes when you go through the theory, you lose the the sense of the core elements of the module or the subject matter. It'll be good. I don't know. My personal opinion is if you can maybe go slow or get some sort of a how would I say theory plus some sort of engagement with the audience would have been much more effective in terms of understanding. I understood completely, but I don't know. I thought as an improvement would have been better if bit of a slow end, but with some examples or some engagement with the audience, that would have been more effective since it's a more theoretical session.
Good,
Thanks.
thanks, okay. Got you. I appreciate that. We'll think about that
Okay, you
for the next
mean,
session.
Vimal, on the Hoshin,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, what I want to ask is, you gave the feedback for both session or only one session?
No, or your ones, the ones, especially on the Hoshin, I know you explained. I think it would have been better because I don't know I maybe about 80 or 70% of the students or they may not be fully exposed to the Hoshin or the policy deployment methodology. Maybe next time, if you can put a small session, like with one example, how the policies cascade down and how the cross-functional team gets aligned with the strategy and the policy strategy and the KPIs. It's one small example would be better. Also, then the team will understand what it's Hoshin.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Agree. Yes.
We'll do that.
In fact, I have also forgotten because I think I'm speaking Hoshin for the last after seven years.
Yeah.
No, it is
Yeah,
Mr. Chandana said is yes, it is given a small example is better understand what are the theory.
Yeah, we'll do that. With
Very
regard
good,
to
Hasan.
Hoshin, maybe one or two slides we will explain next time. Thanks for the feedback.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Time up.
CK.
Any feedback?
I will share the assessment in the TQM link. Then you can follow that. Is an optional one. So preferable if you can do like, all you can do is a better. So you can understand that, in the process, what are the challenges you are going to face in the stability, operational stability. So I will share that one.
Yasir, I think you have asked a question. There is no mandatory assignments on CPOC. As you request, what you can do is please do a CPOC for, if you are struggling in one process now, identify a process. There should be very clear scope, boundaries, start and end point. And for that, you can do a CPOC. You have the tool, that format. Identify your process, the sequence process, then understand your output, understand your customer, then your input and the supplier. Right? Once you do that, understand the voice of customer, then the CTQ, CTP, you can start developing. So if you want to, apply, please do that, so you will understand the link between your internal customer and supply on that particular process. If you are struggling in one process, please, with the team, relevant team, please do a CPOC and understand the connectivity and the customer voice and start monitoring the customer satisfaction. You can do that, Yasir. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Time up. So thanks for everyone. Good night.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning.
Good night, all of.
Okay, good night.
Good night,
Thank you,
team.
everyone.
Good night, team.
Good night, sir. Thank
Thanks,
you very much.
everyone.